Mr. Lance.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I want to thank you and Ranking Member Rush for permitting me to participate today. I'm a member of the full committee, but I'm not a member of the subcommittee. Chairman McIntyre, on January 19th, FERC issued a certificate of public convenience and necessity to the PennEast Pipeline Company, authorizing a natural gas pipeline through Pennsylvania and New Jersey, including in the congressional district I serve. The certificate also gave PennEast the legal ability to file eminent domain lawsuits against private landowners. As FERC opens a docket to re-examine the pipeline certification policy, what kinds of measures will you consider to ensure a robust economic analysis of public need, especially in those instances when precedent agreements are largely signed with affiliates of the owner, like in the case of PennEast?
Well, as you know, Congressman, we have initiated a fresh look at our 1999 certificate policy statement that addresses some of these issues. And we are looking forward to robust public input from stakeholders and the public on the important issues involved here, including the ones that you have cited.
Thank you. Commissioner LaFleur, how will you ensure a project's environmental impacts are sufficiently considered, a topic you discussed in your concurring opinion?
I think that's one of the main issues we will be teeing up for looking at when we look at the policy statement, both how we best do our environmental work on the traditional parts of the pipeline, but also downstream impacts of the end uses that the pipeline contributes to, including climate impacts. I think that'll be directly teed up.
Commissioner Chatterjee, what steps will you take to prevent negative consequences on landowners, a concern you described in your concurring opinion?
Yes, sir. I did have concerns about landowner protection, and it's something that as we explore the revisitation of our pipeline certificate process, I want to ensure that landowners' voices are heard, that they understand the steps available to them to potentially, mitigate concerns that they may have, rerouting, and other types of elements. I want to make sure that they feel that their voices are recognized as part of that process.
Thank
and
you.
that's a commitment.
Commissioner McIntyre, Chairman McIntyre, as FERC reviews the pipeline certification policy, how will you ensure state and local rights are adequately protected? This past June, the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection denied PennEast a freshwater wetlands individual permit and a water quality certificate, which are required to begin construction under the Natural Gas Act. What steps, if any, will FERC take to safeguard state and local autonomy?
There are certain actions that are well beyond our reach in terms of our ability to restrict state roles assigned to them by statute. Often it is the case that these questions that come up have to be resolved by the courts, and I do not expect that to change anytime soon, but certainly we are reflective of and respectful of the state's role.
Thank you. It's my considered judgment that this is not in the best interest of the United States. It's certainly not in the best interest of New Jersey, and we in New Jersey, our state officials, have significant concerns with this. Some of the pipeline would be under preserved land, and there is in the underlying statute, I think written in the 1930s, a belief in comity with state statutory law, and I would hope that the Commission would re-examine all of this. On a completely unrelated issue, Chairman McIntyre, with regard to FERC's March 15th revised policy statement on the treatment of income taxes for Masters Limited Partnerships, could you please explain your rationale in advancing a blanket prohibition of recovering of an income tax allowance for all MLPs? You may have discussed this previously, but I respectfully ask you that question.
Yes, that's fine, Congressman. We were faced with an appellate court decision directing us to address that specific issue. We took action that we regarded as appropriate in light of the directives from the court.
Does any other member of the Commission wish to discuss that? Commissioner LaFleur.
I would just say that even before the United Airlines case that led to the March order, there was an earlier case where we were chastised for court for double taxation. It's been brewing ever since then. We did a notice of inquiry and took a lot of testimony from people in the pipeline industry and others to try to build a full record, and did not find any way to achieve the requirements of the court other than the way that we.
Thank you for your responses, and I yield back 3 seconds, and thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Gentleman's time has expired. Mr. Kennedy.